I remember just constant, absolute terror. And I can't explain how intense, how strong, how all-encompassing that terror is. Unless you do this, you're going to get killed. You're going to die.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Watchers Overwatch Brawl number 6, if I'm not mistaken. Welcome to the opening round and the opening games of this tournament. We have some of the best teams in Tier 3 Overwatch, brought to you by, the lovely Refused over here on the Overwatch Watchers Brawl, and I am Aries, your play-by-play caster, and with me, of course, love to see him again, casted with you before, love to cast with you all the time, and man of class, how are you doing today?
I am doing amazing. I've just come out of a few hours of grueling, grinding parkour maps in Overwatch, which, if you haven't played them, go do it. You'll hate yourself, you'll hate your life, but you'll have a good time, and that's what Overwatch is about. And that's what these games are about, so happy to get into them.
Yeah, I've done parkour in real life and in CSGO, and I can only imagine Overwatch parkour. That's scale of 1 to 10, how difficult?
Look, you have double jumps as Genji, and it depends on which map you are and which creator you get, like what you actually can do. So the most fleshed out one is the one on Havana, which you can get, I think up till now, do with 16 heroes. So every time you complete the map, you switch to the next hero, etc., etc., etc. But I was doing one on Hollywood, and like the last part is, it feels like you cannot actually make it. Like it just cannot actually make that jump. But it's such a perfect timing, and that's what it's all about. It's like you feel like, okay, I should be able to do this, but it's harder than you think, and that's why you see so many people just quit the game while you're doing it, because they just don't want to go through the pain. But the teams we have tonight will go through the pain. But before we actually get into the team play, we have someone with us here that is not actually playing with either of the teams, but rather, giving us some insight in what the team's all about, and that's Redbeard. So Redbeard, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to see you. What team are you representing here?
I'm here on behalf of the New England Whalers.
Ooh, interesting. And how did this team come about, and what do you do for the team?
So I've been helping them out as of late with some of the management duties. I actually work for the greater org that's backing them. They were initially a secondary roster we had, but they've been just putting in the work and grinding and have kind of taken the forefront for our representation in Overwatch.
Oh, that is awesome to hear. And speaking of that up and coming, how do you feel like they're going to be able to do in this tournament?
I am always super supportive of our guys. I think they're going to do really well. I know they've been putting in a lot of work and putting a lot of attention to their gameplay, both macro and micro, to make sure that they can go forward. They're all real hungry and they have the dedication. So I'm gonna be repping my team till the end, right?
Oh yeah, always love that love and support. And speaking of having that, grind attitude, do you think they're going to be able to stick it out if they go 1 or 2 maps down? Do you think they're going to be able to come back from this? Do you think they have the mental fortitude and attitude to be able to come back from that?
Definitely. I think one of the things that I was most surprised spending more time with them in scrims and hearing their comms is that they do a really good job of kind of collecting themselves when they're up against a formidable opponent. And I think that's one of the things that is one of their greatest assets. They really do a good job of kind of locking in and making sure that they do, the best that they can, and they don't let themselves get too tilted or too salty. They just kind of go back to basics and say, okay, here's what we need to do. Let's execute X, Y, and Z. And they do a good job of pulling it out.
That's something definitely that you need to do, is be able to focus on those minor little things and also those major things as well. And do you know if they've watched any film on any of these teams that are competing?
I know that they do watch a lot of competitive. I don't know if they specifically have been scouting out the teams, but I wouldn't be surprised to find out that they did.
That is very, very nice to hear. And with that, we'll be wrapping this up. Thank you, Redbeard, for coming in here, and best of luck to your team.
It's my pleasure. I'll be watching from the sidelines. I appreciate it, guys.
Have a great day. And with that conclusion, man of class, how are you feeling about this game?
I mean, there are two teams that are very new to me. We have Romans Next Gods on the one side, which I'm curious about the way they spell their name, like first of all, but getting into all the mythology behind it and where they came up with the name, that just excites me as someone who is a little bit into mythology. And then New England Whalers, another like very new team to me. So I don't know how these teams are going to do. I haven't really scouted them out before this started. As this was kind of a last minute thing, so I like to do my research, but not this time around. But there's a lot of potential here, and what I'm mostly excited about is seeing what they're going to do, because we've heard a lot of these things coming out which have more to do with Orisa strategies. People are calling it the horse meta, and I don't know if that's going to prevail through, because it's been a very European-centric thing, but there's been players that started playing it on the North American ladder, as far as I've heard. So we might see stuff like that come out, but it's a fairly new thing. So it's very possible that not all these teams have been trying it out or really feel comfortable with it just yet. And especially on a map like Control Center, I doubt we'll see it come out.
Yeah, you definitely love to see those new compositions that have been brought out from new teams, and especially in the European side. I love watching European Overwatch. It's one of the best things for me to watch personally. Just watching any sport or anything competitive Overwatch in Europe is absolutely blissful and awesome. But we also have some really, really great competition over here in NA. NACS, NA Overwatch, whatever you want to say, C9 LOL, whatever. We do have some of the best Overwatch, I say, in the world, and I love to watch it. And here we go, RNG.
Good old 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. Go. It's a tried and true formula. And this Lucio on Lum is going to be able to try to come in here and disturb this backline, doing a really good job of it. He's going to grab a little bit low here. So is Red Sledge, and he's actually going to be taken down very first here by Slife.
Yeah, I mean, very clean engaged. Just these teams smacking into each other. The classic thing that goes with GOATs. I immediately see a difference between how these teams play it. We have the red side here with Korean Snack only having a 65% of ult charge, but Red Sledge going so aggressive in that first fight, they already have to shatter and hits a lot with it.
Yeah, it's a fat shatter, and there's that sound barrier and that rally, possibly overcommitting ults there, I believe. But they're going to be sticking with it, and then they're going to have that shatter there on Korean Snack, and there's that rally on the side of Matchu. And they also have the Transcendence up, and Red Sledge is getting really low.
No bubbles from the Zarya. Biz not being there is a very big problem for him. You see that. No one should be saved. Biz not even able to be charging those ultimates. I definitely see that value coming out from the ultimates of the Romans Next Gods here. It's definitely looking good for them. And even though they're down in percentage and they basically only won one fight and gave a lot of ult charge over, they're doing very well. And if they can rotate these ultimates properly, they should be able to hold on for quite a while here.
Ult economy is one of the biggest things in Overwatch, as it can definitely, as one ultimate can turn a fight totally around, and whenever you have multiple ults there, that can turn an entire map around. And here comes this Diva Bomb, so it's able to catch one, and that's Korean Snack, and there's that Graviton Surge, and Juna is able to chip in with one there, and this team is doing absolutely wonders. RNG, not leaving it to RNG at all.
An original attempt at throwing out that Grav Bomb combo, normally if you put them in the same location, then they can be relatively easily shielded by Zarya Bubbles or a Reinhardt shield. But this time around, they throw their self-destruct a little bit further and then charge away the Reinhardt so it can't be blocked. Shatter through Shatter trade out here. The sound barrier will keep the defender safe here. So this should be okay for them, but that's a lot of damage coming in from that self-destruct.
Holiday! Oh!
I mean, hey, sends them packing for a good one. I mean, they are in China, so they're already on travel. Maybe he wants to send them to Taiwan. I don't know, like anything that's close. Oh wait, Taiwan is that also China now? I don't remember. I'm not that big into politics, being an honor student,
Taiwan's a separation from China for being a democracy. Anyways, being part of it. Anyways, but yeah, they definitely sent them packing onto a travel there, and Life needs to get out of there. For sure, and Korean Snack's getting really low, and Slice's actually going to be going down here, and a really nice kill there from Kayla, and here comes that fat shatter again. It's able to catch three. It's able to catch the entire team. RNG are going to take this point back really convincingly.
On Holiday. Very nicely done, though. Like I said, they have very good usage of their ultimates, get a lot of value out of them, and they often only use one or two ultimates in order to win a fight or turn things around. So They have a nice ult rotation on the defense. Now the attackers though, so on the side of New England Whalers, they have some ultimates coming up, but it's only the support ult, so they have to make something work here. And with that grab self-destruct coming out, that could be another fight win.
Here comes this grab, and it's gonna be a fat grab, and Diva Bomb's able to catch one there. We've seen some really good ones so far in this game, and it's just gonna be cleanup right now for RNG as they've just totally dominated, at least to a tad little bit. Being Kayla's actually gonna be caught out here, and we are in overtime right now, and I don't know they're gonna be able to get the contest here. Here comes a sound barrier. It's gonna be a decent contest.
Yeah, they got Holiday off the point, but then boosted came in, the Sylph came in, the Korean snacks back. I mean, they have the numbers, so they'll be able to win it out, but that goes on for a little bit longer than you might want if you're the Roman next gods.
For sure. And well, what I actually gathered during that is the X factor for RNG was Juno, as he was able to get some really nice picks in there, as well as those discords.
Definitely.
Were absolutely insane from him and able to get those headshots, which do a lot of damage. May not have popped up in the kill feed a ton, but he was definitely doing damage.
Yeah, I mean, I see this thing coming in here where, like I said before, you used to have this grav bomb combo where the bomb was just in the grav and then people could really easily shield it. But by throwing the bomb a little bit away from the graviton, you effectively give yourselves a larger radius in order to work with. And you give two different angles which needs to be shielded. So you have one where the team is shielding, where they're shielding your attacks, and the other angle is where the self-destruct is. And either of them will be able to do a lot of damage. So every single time they then charge the Reinhardt out, which always works. And this is one of those things that we see happen now constantly. You see these DPS coming out from one team, and then the Ghost composition on the other side will go back and switch things up. They switch it up in order to go to a Moira and a Sombra and a Winston. So no more 3-3, 3-2-1 versus quad DPS and a Hammond and a Mercy here. So a lot of damage versus a lot of sustain, but boosted immediately going off the map. Not going to spell a good start here.
For sure, you definitely need that Brigida, especially in those close quarters, but not going to be happening here for them. And the quad DPS, it should be interesting to see how they're going to be able to fit this in here, and it should have a good impact, but no one has captured the point just yet. They've gotten close, and Biz is able to get Juno here on that Sombra. It's just this Winston on the point, and Holiday is able to take down Red Sledge and boosted. Look at those kills there, and New. The Whalers are able to take, are just about gonna, just about, and gonna be taking first point.
Lum just hacked out there. There's a bit sad Mercy there. I'll be surprised if especially Kala's gonna stay on this Mercy. There's not a lot to pick off. They might want to switch over to something like a Tracer, maybe even a second healer they need. This EMP needed to get a lot though, and it didn't get any value out of it. I don't think everyone's in position to follow up on that one.
Yeah, for sure. And who do you think is gonna be the X factor in this match?
I mean, so Kala either needs to start hitting some big shots or needs to go over to something else. I think that's like one of the main points I want to highlight. But they need to start hitting some ultimates. These ultimates need to start getting some value. The Holiday's hacked up, so that's a very big thing. The barrage could get a lot of value now, but then all the ultimates come out from the other side, and it's just all negate it.
Korean Snack is able to get Kayla, and Slife is able to get. Is going to be going down here. That's going to be a trade going to be coming out, and Holiday is able to get demeched here, and there's that barrage. Is able to get one, nearly able to get Holiday there, but the healing is there for him, and here comes a rally on the side of Boosted, and that Mercy is going to be targeted so heavily here by Holiday. Not going to be taken down though. Juno will though. That Ham is going to be absolutely destroyed. Red Sledge not able to hold on. They're at 70% right now, and Holiday is on a 5-player kill streak right now, putting in the work.
It's going so well here for the New England Whales, and it needed to be. I mean, last map wasn't that successful for them. They show that they're definitely ready for this DPS composition coming out. And on the other side, they're now switching it up. So they're going over to this 3-2-1 composition, almost mirroring it, but they're going to use the Zenyatta and the Reinhardt. But they have that EMP, crucially, and that needs to get some value in this fight.
Sure, and there's a 3-man hack there. See if we can do much for them, and New, if they're not able to hold this. As soon as I was about to say if they're going to be able to hold this or not, but they are definitely not going to be able to hold that. It was really the hack that got him into that and definitely helped them win that.
Crucially, Biz using the EMP, not getting enough value out of that one. They're now going to switch over back to their own 3-3. No longer running the Sombra because they don't feel they need to. And that's sort of a fair assumption. But Classonation could definitely make the difference here on that Sombra. Charging up the EMP rapidly is already at 44%. And they have some other roles to work with. They have a Shatter, they almost have a Trance, a Rally. So they should be able to hold on to this fight at least. And then the EMP will be up for the next one. A huge shatter coming out from Red Sledge there. It does go down himself, but they already get Korean Snack and Honey Badger out, so they're completely fine over here. They do get some picks back and forth here, and they're actually losing some more members than they might need to. Boosted using that rally, because I think they can probably get in here, so the Hassan Bear is going to get invested from Lum here, and this fight is going to go on for a little bit here, so it could go all the way to 99.
It could possibly do that, and New is working from the outside, trying to go in onto this point, and there's a rally going to be coming in from Machu, and there's also that hack, and it's going to be a nice hack, and there's a Graviton Surge as well. Korean Snack's going to be going down, and with that is boosted as well. And Holiday is going to be taking a little bit of a dip off the map, and Juno again coming up huge.
Once again, Red Sledge getting another shatter up in the end there. Juno still has that Transcendence because wasn't able to use in the last fight. And they'll need it because there's going to be a Graviton on Biz and no EMP or Rally or Sound Barrier, so that Transcendence really needs to come up big. But we've seen how these ultimate combos, especially the Graviton and the Self-Destructive, gone off. And they really need to be able to deal with that a little bit better than just using the Transcendence, because that's not everything you need for that.
For sure, he does a lot of healing, but not enough. And Slife is going to be taken down very early into this fight. And there's that Transcendence we were talking about, going to be coming up from both teams. And there's a huge shatter. Boost is going to be going down here early, and it's a 99 versus 99 right now. RNG with control of the point, and it looks like they're going to have control of the first game.
Oh, Sylph didn't make it. Yeah, no, that's it. That was a very good last fight. They essentially used their shatter in order to block any follow-up from the EMP, and then they were still from the Graviton, and Yuno had a nice Transcendence coming out as well. So they had the advantage in that fight, used it properly, like the positional advantage, but that was a very, very close one. That could still have gone either way, especially if something like that would have happened on that point. That fight would have been over, and that point would have gone over to the New England Whalers. Unfortunately, wasn't meant to be. So it's going to be the new Roman, the new Roman gods, the Romans new gods. That was it was. Yeah, they're going to get the first map here. So they're going to get to ban one as well. So this is where we are at right now. Obviously,
that was the first very good win.
That was the first one. Yeah.
Of course, both of these teams debuting in the Overwatch Watchers Brawl Tournament, and of course, we heard earlier that the New England Whalers, as I believe, this is actually a fairly new team. They worked their way up into that organization, and the picking bans will be coming in, as we will give those to you as soon as we know them, and pray that these teams know what the rules are and knows what maps are in play and what maps are not. I know that sometimes does not happen, but even if they do, we have confidence. Hopefully.
I mean, confidence is something the players should definitely have as well. I mean, I've been watching a little bit of PUBG lately, and then every single time a team wins, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're very confident," you know. Like, that's basically their entire speech after a game. There's obviously more that goes into it, but like they always come back to it, and they now have the meme of like a team wins, oh yeah, they were the most confident that day. It's like it's a really fun thing, but it goes for Overwatch teams as well. If you're confident in what you do, you'll have confidence in the calls you make. So if the shot caller or the main caller essentially has the confidence to say this is what we're doing, and you're not constantly switching up plans or changing strategies or being unsure about like question marks at the end of the sentences, maybe we could do this, like, then if you're more confident and more in what you say, your team will also be less reluctant to follow. So they'll basically say, oh yeah, this is what we're doing. They don't even question you. It just goes. And the longer teams together, obviously the more natural that becomes. But especially for a newer team, that's something that's very important to get going as soon as possible. So we're going to get Eichenwald as a banned map here, which is, I wouldn't say surprising. It's been a map that some teams really love, but other teams sort of are annoyed by it. I mean, not necessarily dislike, but I think it's the most. Well, I would say I think it's one of the more flexible maps. I think that's what you're really looking at in that case. So it could be that RNG is really looking to just get the 3-3 matchup most of the time. And looks like we're going to go to Paris. Now, that is something...
That is new.
Okay, so I think in the last Watches Brawl, over about 15 matches, I've never seen Paris. It was either always banned or never picked, at least. So... This is new for me. I mean, it might have been that we've had 1 or 2 times that was played, but it's a very rare map to see because still a lot of people don't really like it. It's very new. There's a lot of excuses not to pick it. But if you are a team that has been practicing Orisa strats, this is the map they work really well on. First point, Orisa strats. Even the second point, they're very valuable. So I'm ready for it. Give me some Orisa.
Or Orisa. What?
I don't know if we're gonna get it though, because we could still see it banned. Because the Romans' new gods get to now save a hero and select on which side they want to start. They want to save Lucio. Yeah, and I'm gonna say if you are really committed to running an Orisa strat, you have to ban something that counters the Orisa strat, or at least that you think they will think that counters the Orisa strat.
Gotta strategize them.
Yeah, and in New England Wales, if they've been watching any EU, I'm feeling... I'd say don't ban the D.Va. A lot of teams will go into that mistake where they ban the D.Va, but the D.Va can also be very valuable for you to counter things that will counter the bunker comp or the Orisa composition. So I'd rather go for something like either banning a Mercy, which is more impactful in the long run because they can't run these DPS spam compositions as easily. Maybe ban either a Farah or a Sombra because they like the spam and the hacks, etc. work very well against the composition as well. And you don't necessarily need them yourself. There are some options there, but I would steer clear of banning the D.Va because the D.Va is as helpful as it can be for the attackers against it. It's also very helpful for defenders to use either at that point or at other points. Otherwise, heroes like Ana and Roadhog will come so more prevalent to play, and they can be hard sometimes to work against. So, yeah, I'd go for a DPS ban here. That's my main concern that they might not do.
Yep. And speaking of all the positions, I know this is going to be really smooth, but going from all the positions like you're talking about with pick and bans, you guys might want to pick or ban. Not really gonna ban, but pick your favorite MVP of this series. You can go ahead and do that if you're on Twitch. If you're on DLive, just go on over to Twitch chat and go down to the bio and click and on your favorite MVP of this match so far. May want to hold on to it, maybe like the 3rd, 4th map. But if you guys want to do that,
ban the Winston.
Yeah, Winston.
Oh,
what do you think?
I think that's nice because a lot of teams will try and go into that Orisa comp, trying to run dive into it. And you can't really do that if Winston's banned, obviously, or like floats, dive goats. So they have to either go with the Reinhardt or with a full DPS composition, and either are very annoying to run through that choke because there's a lot of damage coming in, of course. Now, what I am curious about is if the Romans' new gods are gonna run something of an Orisa defense, but we'll see. Imagine that, by the way. You were talking about picking and banning MVPs, but imagine if like our viewers could just say, "Hey, you know what? Let's all vote on a player, and the one who gets the most votes will just get, or like the least votes will just not be able to play in the competition anymore.
Ooh.
They just get banned from Watchers Brawl."
Oh my goodness, that would suck.
I mean, I think that's taking it to a next level. Let's not make Overwatch like a reality TV show. Even though sometimes it sort of is. Let's just not. But yeah, let's see if they come out with an Orisa comp on the defense. That's the main thing I want to look at. Obviously, this is not the team that selected the map, so the Romans' new gods could not do it, but they are, and they're going with the. So there's a few different iterations or different versions you have of it. They're gonna go with the double turret spam composition, which is the Bastion and the Torbjorn. I don't know if that's the most effective one. It kind of depends on where they want to hold it. If they want to hold on the first high ground, I don't think the turret and the Bastion add much up on top of each other. think you'd rather have something like a Junkrat, maybe even a Widowmaker, to have more accuracy and or more higher burst damage in the spam department. But they're gonna run it with the Mercy of the Baptiste, so at least their static comp will be very defensible, and they'll have the res in case things go wrong.
Okay, they would definitely like to have that little bit of a safety net, but Kayla going to be playing on this Bastion. That's going to be really the key point of this map. Is that Bastion?
I don't know if I agree with that turret placement, by the way. I'll say that straight away. I think you might have wanted it on the high ground, and I think you just missed it, so that's why you ran forward. But Biz is just scouting it out, just running behind them at the Sombra. He knows, he can see. And now they're on the on the point. And the Sombra is just waiting until he can hack something out. It's gonna happen. He's gonna hack something, but what's he gonna hack?
Juno is able to get Korean Snack very early on here. That's gonna be a very nice early pick there, because the defense does not want to be the first pick. That's definitely not what you want, because then that just prompts a dive, and you don't want that as a defense.
Biz got out safely. Is already on 50% of the EMP. I think that's the main one to watch out for. Like they're sort of staying back here. Honey Badger has the nano. Biz will have the EMP, and they'll try. Their main thing is just to break it with a nano blade and EMP, because there's no defense at that point. The EMP nano blade comes out, they'll just get slaughtered. That's 100% gonna happen. So Sombra is a very easy out when it comes to that. Just EMP everything they have, because it's all set up so bulked up. You can literally hit everything with one EMP here, I think.
Yeah, and
that's why you see Juno hiding a little bit. Juno's actually hiding for it.
Yeah, and Kayla's able to get two there, and Lum's going with the Battle Mercy against Genji. Genjago is going to be going down here, and that EMP, which is so crucial, like you said, is sitting at 85 basically percentage on that ultimate, and that tank mode is available for Kayla.
Yeah, they're gonna switch off the Genji here. They're gonna go with the Hanzo and the Pharah instead. I think the Pharah is a nice touch. Not that much that can deal with the Pharah, especially if she has a Mercy with her. But Biz will now be at that EMP charge. It's still behind the enemy. That's where the Translocator went. They are gonna be trying to scout for it, but yeah, that's just a nice distraction. Biz does not get out though. Might actually be hunted down here. Yeah, has to somehow get out. I think that's a nice Translocator, but will also get destroyed. But there's 3 heroes looking at Biz, so this could be a time to walk in. They managed to get Kala in the meantime. They need to be able to deny this res coming out from Lum.
I don't think they're not gonna be able to. Holiday is able to take down that invincibility. And Kala is able to get one there onto boosted, and a second one on the Honey, and Salif is this next one in line, as Madshu gets one as well. Want to join in on the party, and Biz is really going to be the one to watch here, especially with this
constantly spamming here. Class Nation is constantly spamming for Biz, and now they're really backing off. They're really scared of this EMP now. They got to sort of know that it's there, and they need that's why they're moving, because this is a far harder angle to attack with that after the EMP comes out. But even if it comes out and he hits the right targets, which he's looking to do, Juno was not hacked. Juno was not hacked. That's big.
Ooh, yeah, that's very big. And Class Nation's actually able to get 2 there. That is not good at all. Roman New Gods are holding on right now, even with that EMP. And that was really just... Do you think Class Nation really bailed them out there? Do you think they were in trouble?
It was both Class Nation and Juno that were very aware of what they had to do. Just stay out far enough away from your own team that you cannot get hacked. Then they just win. They do make Kala move here, so they could very well have a good attack here. Juno's very low, does get healed up, but they do have some room here. The Bastion's moving. They get Juno straight away. That's a very nice pick they needed to get. And now they're going to try and deny the res, I think. Lum needs to not be able to get it.
Yeah, Kala's able to get another one. That's going to be huge here. And
still somehow gets that res off.
How? Trade's going to be coming out, but the overtime is ticking down.
It's not
and
enough.
Kala
it's just not enough.
Yeah, it's done way more than enough here, and overtime is over. RNG able to hold.
Yeah, I feel that there is it's sure the Romans New Gods played that very well, that defense. Don't get me wrong. But I feel there's definitely some problems for the attackers coming out here, where they didn't recognize their win condition. and also didn't really adapt to what the defenders were doing. So they switched positions on the defense because they knew the EMP was going to come out. And then there was no adaptation to what they wanted to do. They were just like, sure, we're still going to run in with the EMP. We're not going to fake anything out. We're not going to go in a different direction. They could sort of walk through the choke for free and take a different angle if they wanted to, because they couldn't really get spammed down from there. But no, they chose to go head on, straight into them, take all the damage. And yeah, that just didn't really work. Other than that, they just fed over a lot of ult charge when they might just not have needed to. They could just have charged up the nano, charged up the blade, and that was literally all they had to do. But they just gave ultimates to the enemy team where they really didn't need to. The only ultimates that have to really get up at that point are a few damage, like is a little bit of damage ult charge because you have to take damage somehow. Maybe some support ultimates for them because you're doing damage to them. But there were too many ultimates up when they hadn't charged enough of their own. And now they're going to do their own defense. They're not going to use the Torbjorn, though. They're going to keep that Sombra for the off-angle attack. And I don't think the Torbjorn necessarily added that much. I mean, it was nice to have, but it didn't necessarily add that much, I feel, to the defense of the Roman's new gods.
That's definitely something that you might want to adapt to next time. And here we go on to the second round here on Paris. They just need one tick.
You could see a
and that will be
draw.
enough.
It's possible.
It definitely is possible. But like I said, they're just going to do a little bit of scouting here.
They're going to scout and then just go back into spawn, switch over. So they're going to try and do the same thing, but they're going to use the Diva and the Lucio and the Ana. I don't know what the Lucio will add here. They'll get in a little bit quicker, but they don't really have the heroes that need that speed boost. They're not running a 3-3, and that's why you see Lum switching over to that Mercy straight away. It's like they hear me. Sometimes they're just like amazed.
Yeah, there is a delay on, so don't worry.
Oh, Biz, 60% already.
Yeah.
But they don't need anything else. Like literally, if Biz just gets that EMP up, then they just EMP them, charge up every other ultimate, and then the next fight they use those ultimates, and then they use the EMP again. They can really cycle that. So that's why I like the Sombra a bit more than the Torbjorn, because you have more off-angle capability. Especially like half their team goes through the choke, then the Sombra can harass everything that's still in or behind the choke. Possibilities. Oh, we see this anti-nade come out. Very nice angle. Actually hits them. Oh, it's a very nice one from Juno.
Yeah, and I'm just watching Kala and how they're able to get this backline and now able to just torture them. And there's gonna be a revive here coming out onto Red Sledge. And he's able to get it up, and Machu is able to take down Boost, and that's gonna be a huge kill.
Yeah, and not only that, they completely deny the res as well, but they're losing their own healers, they're losing their main tank, they're losing Kala. So they have some numbers here, but they don't have the capacity to actually finish off the rest. And now with Class Nation and Juno gonna get staggered out here, that's gonna be very bad for them because they could have maybe pushed in with the numbers advantage. And that's now out off the table, especially with Juno going down so deep into enemy territory and so late. Boost is going to be back, Blizz is going to be back, Sylph's going to be back, so they should be fine. And they're set up again. It's all done. And sure, they now have the Nano Blade EMP, but is it going to be enough? Because we don't know where their supports are hiding. You already see Honey Badger hiding under the bridge, so Kala's looking to like, how can I do this? How can I both get the EMP off and not let them do that immortality field thing, because they're trying to do the same thing, and Holiday's probably ready to throw the bomb in as well, so they're ready for everything. And Biz is probably there for the counter EMP. It just denies that EMP follow-up. There we go. They just do the exact same thing, but better. It's actually just even better than what the Rome's new gods did on their defense, I feel.
Booster is able to take down Kayla, and Machu is gonna get revived here, but have they done enough in this fight? Roman New Gods is not looking very, very goddish right now.
Definitely not. And that as well, right? They used 3 ultimates to it in the defense and 4 on the attack, and they're gonna get an EMP back, and they're gonna have 3 ultimates on the attack again. So they're still in an ultimate advantage. Like this is why I'm saying they did it better than the Roman's New Gods did. Oh, that's very nice though. Oh, that boop was amazing. They booped Kareen Snack through the shield. And now Boosted also got taken down. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to the defense here. They might have misplayed a little bit here. It's looking very good. Yeah, no, this looks like it's just going to be the Roman New Gods taking it. And that's unfortunate because it was looking so well for the New England Whales.
Yeah, Roman New Gods able to take that map with just one tick. It was definitely looking a little sketchy there by both teams a little bit, but they able to go up 2-0 in this series so far. Very nice Steve bomb there if they're showing the POTG, the potage, I'd like to call it sometimes. But who do you think was the X factor in that game?
There are so many options, to be honest. Like I don't think there was one real X factor, but what I definitely feel like is that Red Sledge did a lot of work on that Hammond. Definitely denied a few plays and actually enabled a few kills that were very, very important. That last fight, he not only got the slam onto boosted to get that kill, but also booped Korean Snack through the shield in order to still get killed by the self-destruct that he actually shielded, but it got booped through his own shield. And that was literally one play. It was a boop and followed by the pile driver that killed both boosted and Korean. So if that hadn't happened, then that point would not have been opened up. So nicely done from Red Sledge. Just setting up a lot of plays here. His plays from Class Nation, plays from other people. He kind of setting that up with the Hammond was very detrimental. Also, the Knight, I think 2 reses even with that Wrecking Ball. So showing that coordination, or at least that ability to mechanically move around with the Wrecking Ball is very nice.
For sure. And Junkertown will be banned on the side of Roman New Gods, and the bunker comp really
I think they're trying to ban out now. They're not going to try and ban out the things that have like the sort of the gimmick maps or the more risky maps strategy wise. So both Eichenwald and Junkertown are maps that are very open to be run with like DPS compositions, or at least non-standard, more non-standard compositions, if that makes sense. And I feel like they just want to avoid it. They just want to go into the straight 3-3 and win that. And it's going to be obviously interesting to see if the New England Whales will let them play those standard type of things, because they took away the oh yeah, so the question is if the map bans stay, but they do. But obviously the hero bans don't. They will get reset, so we'll see which ones they go for this time. Still need to pick a map though. I think that's where we start.
Yeah, and it's possibly a substitution coming in. Do not know yet.
Gonna go to Oasis here. Oasis, another DPS, possibly DPS map. Biz has been doing very well on the Sombra. I would say Biz has the edge over Kala when it comes to the Sombra play, but it's possible that that's not going to be enough, obviously. So see what's going to happen here when we go to Oasis. Obviously, we'll have the heroes, the heroes bans and say gone. Oh yeah, it's the Romans' next gods, by the way, not the new gods, the next gods. I mean, it's sort of the same thing, really. If you're gonna be there's current gods, and then you're like new gods taking over the job, so you're gonna be the next gods. I don't know. It's fine. I could also just call them RNG. It removes all confusion.
Yeah. Well, other than the confusion, are they a random number generator, random name generator?
No, they're the Romans' next gods. Versus new, and new stands for the New England Whales. Let me see that up on your screen. Now you know why and what the team names actually are. So good to know. Maybe you didn't know as a viewer. Now you do. But still waiting for the hero's save here from the Romans' next gods.
Yeah, and personally, I don't really like New England as an Atlanta Falcons fan. If you watch football at all, you'd know why. But
I have no clue what you're talking about here, because I know the actual football, which is not the same.
Okay, I play soccer, and it's soccer.
It's fine. It's the thing is, I know, like I think when you look at the history of the words, I think soccer is actually the correct thing, but I'm not entirely sure. Or at least in Britain, when you look at the etymology of the word. but there's different theories about it. I'm not gonna mingle. I don't like either of the sports, so it's not for me. Don't worry. I like other things, like Overwatch, which is actually what we're doing here, Aries. So it's always better. But yeah, I mean, they're saving Lucio again, which is not surprising. Looks like they really want to just stick with the 3-3. Like I said, they're banning out the gimmicky maps where 3-3 is maybe not as strong. So it makes a lot of sense that they would just save Lucio because you just want to have the 3-3 matchup. Once again, I feel like if we see some sort of meta shift come in, it's definitely something that could happen where we are, looking more at Orisa compositions. And it might not be in the best interest of the Romans' new gods to keep only saving Lucio and instead of saving something else that might actually force them to play something else. So they are 2-0 up in this series, so they could take a little bit of a risk. But we'll see. I mean, you just want to win sometimes. And it's the first round, first week. You just want to have a strong start. So I get it. I'm not going to judge them for it. But we'll see what's going to be banned here.
And it's taking a little bit. They love to take their time, don't they?
I mean, they do, but they did think about their last map pick and their hero bans. Like they did do so. I don't think it was necessarily the right ban. Like I said, I would rather have seen them ban certain DPS heroes that might have worked out better, or maybe even the Mercy. But they wanted to use the Mercy in their own composition of the defense, which I can understand. So there's always these doubts that you think yeah, but if we ban it, we can also not use it. But then you gotta have another trick to break it that they might not have on their attack sometimes. So it's always a bit tricky. I can't really judge anyone for anything. Not everyone has the same opinions or the same theories about every meta.
For sure, that's definitely.
We're still waiting what's going to be banned though, and while we do so, yeah. You cannot ban players. We already discussed that. That would be ridiculous. But you can pick players underneath the Twitch stream.
Yeah. Being slick over
here. Click on MVPs. Yeah, that's how we do it. And if you're on D Live, God bless you. Obviously, D Live, amazing platform, but you cannot yet vote for the MVPs there. So literally just hop over to Twitch, vote, go back to D Live. That's fine. We're not going to tell anyone. You don't have to tell anyone, but at least you get to vote for someone who you might want to get the MVP, and your vote could matter. We don't get 50,000 votes, so one vote actually makes a difference sometimes.
Yeah. Or here's an alternative. If you're on D Live, you could shoot on over to Twitch, make a Twitch account, put in your credit card or debit card or whatever. Give us a Twitch Prime little crisp sub there. Where come out.
Oh, that would be very crispy, but I don't know if that's the risk you want to go for, man. That's I mean, hey, it's your account, so definitely go ahead and do it. I mean, the thing is, if you get Twitch Prime, it's essentially getting the same thing as just getting Amazon Prime. You also have Prime Video, and there's some good series on there, man. Not gonna lie, there's actually some good stuff on there. So
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Jack Ryan, he can go to Yemen because he's an analyst, but he still gets to get on the plane. There's American Gods, we're talking about the Romans' next gods. You're talking about American gods, the old versus the new, and they're going to get a war, etc. And apparently Shadow Moon, he has a big role for that guy. So, it's good. I've seen all of that. It's actually, they're all pretty good series. They're not long series, but I think there's not a lot of episodes necessarily. But the main advantage of it is that it's all high quality. The storyline's very good. And usually when a new series launches, they just put all the episode out straight away. So you don't have to wait every week. I think that's a nice touch.
Not like Hulu.
Not like Hulu. I mean, I'm not familiar with Hulu. Being in the European, we don't have that here.
Yeah.
But it's fine. We're gonna get into the map though, and what's been banned. I actually missed out what's been banned. They banned D.Va, so they're gonna go with Pharah stuff, or they're gonna go with something that where D.Va's good against, and I don't want to use it themselves. So that's either multi DPS where they have one tank, and that is not a D.Va, or they're gonna go with something that is more. I mean, the thing is, I'm guessing they're gonna go with something that D.Va's good against, which is a lot of projectile spam. She's very good against that. She's also good against hitscan stuff because she eats everything. But especially against things like Pharahs, Junkrats, even Roadhogs, D.Va's very good. So I'm expecting Roadhogs to be played here, or at least it's possible, especially on this stage. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm definitely expecting DPS to come out.
For sure. And by the way, just a heads up, after this at 9 o'clock, we'll join back again if you're on the eastern side of the US of A's or Canada. I don't think there's an Eastern Standard Time for Mexico, but we may get there at some point. We would be joining back at 9 p.m. and we'll be going over another game and seeing how that goes. Definitely want to see you guys there, and can I do that. And here we go on to the start of Oasis. RNG Roman next Gods of We, as we saw earlier, is up 2-0, 2-0 in the series right now, looking to close it out on Oasis. But here we go on it, and
like I said, I expect DPS to come out, and it's a lot of DPS straight away, using that Orisa this time around, which on this map, not surprising. Korean Snack will have a very stable position, and he wasn't doing that much work with the Wrecking Ball, so I definitely understand this. They have the Torbjorn with it. Oh, boosted, gets Juno straight away, so there will not be anything to stop them from doing a lot of damage here. Nicely done here. It's a good start. It's logical that Juno is on the Ana, by the way, for people wondering, like, why is it not the standard 3-3 or 3-2-1? The Ana is there because the D.Va cannot eat anything she does. Normally when Ana shoots, when Ana throws abilities out, D.Va can just eat it. I don't know if she can eat sleep darts, but she can definitely eat the anti-nades and the general healing, whether it's hit scan or not. So that's why Ana just gets all the value she normally should have when she is on that, not against the D.Va. But we'll see the quad DPS come out from both sides this time around.
yeah, and that Ana's definitely needs to get some value out of it. That's one of the biggest value
boosted
healers, and boosted, able to boost Kayla out of this map right now. And New England is having full control of this point right now. Class Nation's going to be taken down here, and Boosted is able to get Juno on that side again. He's been heavily dominating that side.
Honey Badger just shooting Kala into spawn. Kala getting no chance to play here today. Juno also being on a lot of fire, so you see these ultimates building up. Sylph is there, Boosted's already there, obviously, with all the damage done. And they're building up to the rest as well, but you see not a lot of damage actually being done here. I mean, we're in over 60% and there's barely ultimates online on either side, so yeah, very drawn out, but not very damaging fights. You'll be good at dodging stuff, I suppose.
That Valkyrie.
Oh, Red Sledge! Is Red Sledge gonna go off the edge? I think he's managed to save himself, but that was such a good boop once again for Boosted.
He's had a lot of those so far in this game, and Juno's actually getting so low. He's at one, not even down here.
There we go. Honey Badger on the flank.
Both Valkyries are gonna be popped here, and Boosted does have that barrage, and there it is. He's able to get one into Kayla.
Oh, they got so much already. Yeah, but they are trading out here, and they have the Tech Visor on. The Torbjorn ultimate is there now. Korean Snack has the ultimate out, so they could very well defend this if they do well. And they are getting some kills. Machu actually going very low, not being able to be healed up. Overtime's ticking down. They don't have that many people here, but at least they have control of the point. And the respawns are coming back now, so Red Sledge already falling, and then they're dragging into Class Nation. Ooh, that's a dominant first point here.
Very
so big.
Dominant.
So I don't think Machu, Yuno, and Kala actually got, and Red Sledge or Class Nation, none of them actually got an ultimate up in that entire thing. So that basically shows how little, like how hard it was to find angles to do damage on.
Of course, and you do need those angles to work with to get those ultimates. And like you said earlier, the damage was just not being pumped in at all. We've seen that a lot so far in this series, but it just was not there. And that fight, of course, that Valkyrie was up there, but that's just from the damage that was being output onto them.
Here. Based on the McCree. Yeah, I was going to say, I would like to see a Moira with that instead of Zenyatta. And immediately, they do get Honey Badger on that Moira, so that's very nice to see. This is sort of the Protected McCree anti-DPS composition. They have 2 stuns. They have the Moira, who's a lot of sustain. They have the McCree for the hit scan. So they're expecting this fire composition to come out on the other side, and it does. So they're ready. And the boops are not as good for Machu just yet.
Class Nation is able to get that very nice early pick there onto Biz, who's playing that McCree right now, and the Whalers looking like they want to go for the top point up here, but they're not looking like they're going to be able to get it, and Romans is taking control of this point right now. And here comes New England right now trying to go for the contest here, and Boost is just gonna get absolutely murdered there by the barrage, but Madshu is gonna be traded out there very quickly, and Kayla on the soldier needs to get something huge here, and right now the Whalers are taking control. They're not able to fully capture the point, but RNG is able to get up to 12%. Yeah, finally.
They finally do get it. And that fight went a little bit long, but both teams lost players, and the players lost on the side of the New England Whalers, which is not as impactful. And especially with DPS compositions, as soon as you lose a hero, your power level just drops so drastically. As opposed to with 3-3 or 3-2-1 compositions, as New England Whales are running, they are more sustainable in their individual heroes. So that is very much what you're seeing happening here. That's why they switch over to this 3-2-1 comp of their own, running the Sombras to the McCree, because Class Nation is very close to the EMP, so I like them holding on to that.
Yeah,
let's get taken out, though.
Yeah, Class Nation with that, and McCree does have that Deadeye, and there's that Earthshot. It's able to 3 out, and that's going to be this wipe and this fight done very early on just because that one ultimate, and very well done from it, and the sound barrier.
Whalers. They're finding their stride. That's very good. Okay, so we're gonna get into the classic Lucio Sombra relation again. Sylph has got the sound barrier. Class Nation's got the EMP. So they need to know where the Lucio is, or they need to deny, or the sound barrier. So the Lucio needs to hide in order to be able to get the sound barrier off, and it looks like Sylph is not doing that. So Class Nation will get the free EMP. Sound barrier will not be able to get out. But they engage with the
there's that huge hack. Holiday's the only one that's not caught in it. And it looks like the trades are going to be coming in here, but the Whalers are absolutely dominating right now.
It's not enough, and the main thing about it is Holiday throws out that Graviton, which essentially just means that you're not going to be able to do follow-up on an EMP because you're stuck in one location. They don't have to run up to you, they can just stand there. So that's why the EMP didn't get the value it could have. And then when the Graviton ended, the hack was almost over, so they could just throw out the sound barrier, and the sustain was just there. And they're going to be able to make it back here, I think. No, it just get booped off. Okay. Dominant showing here on Oasis from the New England Whales, and they're fighting their stride here. Very nice to see. I'm happy for them because they're showing that they have a plan going into these maps. They know what compositions they want to run, and they especially know what heroes they don't want to have run against them. The Diva ban was actually very worth it on this map.
For sure. With it, and the dive's not going to be able to come in, and the projectiles also, and that was a very dominant showing from the Whalers, especially on that first point in University. Most of the players not able to get any ultimates online for them. And we will be going into the 4th map. There you go, quick maths only. But it looks like New England will be banning a map first. And
yeah, they're 100% going to ban the map that is most GOAT's favored.
Anubis.
Anubis is a map that is very Ghost favored. Like it's very good, especially on the second one. You kind of need to run it almost there. So they're going to ban that out. Don't want to deal with it. If they're going to go to Assault, it's going to go to a map that is less, like I said, Ghost favored. There's still other maps in the pool though. Like you can never ban all the GOAT's favorite maps out because they're just almost all of them. But they've been showing that they're creative with their compositions. They know what they want to do, go in with a plan, like on time. They know where they need to go, and it kind of felt like RNG was adapting to them rather than the other way around, which is always nice to see when you're New England Whales, that your strategy is forcing the other team to play your game rather than you playing their game, which I felt on the other maps was a little bit more of the case. So New England Whales definitely going up here with a little bit more of a power level. They definitely have their strategy a little more figured out, which could take some time sometimes. So the reverse sweep could very well happen now.
For sure with that, and it's a kind of a psychological thing. Whenever your strategy doesn't work and you have to adapt to the other teams, it's gonna take a while to be able to fight back with that, and your mentality going after that is like, dang, our strategy didn't really work. What can we do next for it? And that could definitely take a toll, and we talk about mental fortitude a lot. I mean, a lot, especially when I'm casting. It's one of the biggest things.
Hollywood.
Hollywood is selected. I've seen a lot of Hollywood, and I've seen a lot of great Hollywood.
We've seen a lot of good things in Hollywood. We've also seen a lot of Orisa stuff in Hollywood lately. Maybe not so much in the NEA side, but it's coming back. It's been a thing. Like especially you had that Orisa hold on Kings Row for a while, and then teams started adapting that to also use it on Hollywood and just hide in the cafe. Don't know if these teams are going to be doing that, but it's coming back. It's definitely coming back. Running the Sombra with that or the Pharah with that on the defense to have like the off-angle DPS extra factors, very smart, and it works very well. Torbjorn not as strong with that if you're running that bunker. So I don't know if that's going to work out the same as it on Paris for if RNG wants to run that, but the New England Whales have the opportunity to save a hero now, and I don't know if they're going to be able to save something that will give away a strategy. So, yeah, I'm curious what they'll save. I don't think they're necessarily interested in saving anything. They're more interested in banning something, but they don't get that opportunity. That's RNG's choice this time.
Yeah, of course, once you win a map, you can't ban one, and yeah, New England's going to be interesting to see who they are going to be saving and what side they're going to be choosing here. And
yeah, speaking about choices...
Go for it.
Do it. Do the segue, Aries. Do it.
Okay.
You got
all right. I got the setup.
Speaking about choices, come on.
Speaking of choices, go ahead and go choose for your MVP of the match so far. We love doing this, and I'm glad you're being a smooth Billie Jean over here, being Michael Jackson, being smooth. And yeah, you actually reminded me that I wasn't even thinking about it, but yeah, go ahead and vote for your MVP if you're on D-Live. We love you, but go ahead and kick it on over onto Twitch, go over there, have it up in both tabs, that'll work too. And, just go ahead and vote for your MVP while you're there, kick some, GG lols or whatever you want. And yeah, Sombra will be saved.
Save. That's the main
mercy
thing.
Man.
And we saw the Sombra being very impactful on their defenses and on their attack, to be honest. And more so for New England Whales than for RNG. I think in RNG, the Sombra wasn't really the factor where they were able to win Paris in the end. It was more so their Wrecking Ball or their other strategies. And I do feel that a lot of teams will overvalue the Mercy when you're looking at something like a bunker defense. Mercy is much more impactful or important when you run DPS attacks than when you run an Orisa defense. Because while Mercy, yes, you have the res, you shouldn't need the res if your team plays on point enough. You can generally get away with it, especially if you run a Sombra and not a Pharah on the defense. You can just have the Sombra be self-sustaining. She doesn't need healing. She can just run around, do her own thing. And then an Ana and a Baptiste or something like that will do a lot more like value-wise than a Mercy will generally do. Because that res, if they manage to pick someone off, that res is rarely going to be able to come out and rarely going to be able to get the value that you want, because it's more often than not, it will just be too late.
Of course, and the Roman next guys do have the upper hand in this series, going up 2-1 right now against the New England Whalers, and you are on Hollywood, definitely talked extensively about it. And like I said, Mercy can be overlooked in bunker compositions.
Definitely can.
Yeah, for sure. And do you think they're going to be running a bunker composition?
It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. We do see the defense not running a bunker composition. They're going to go with this 3-3. Using the Ana instead of Zenyatta, I think Yunos had a lot of value with those anti-nades. I think they were very impactful on Paris especially. The anti-nades weren't in the end the defining factor. Like, they didn't actually get proper anti-nades off in that last fight that they eventually won. But we saw a lot of purple bars in the fights before that. So it wasn't Yuno doing wrong things. But usually you'll see this dynamic where you see the 3-3 with the Ana lose to the 3-3 with the Zenyatta, because your healing cannot... I mean, it's fine if you heal a lot, but you also need to kill the enemy team. They have enough sustain, and they'll have more damage. So you need to hit the anti-nades in order to get the value. And they're going to look out, see what's going to be on the defense. And I think they're running the Ana because they're expecting no D.Va to come out on the attack. But obviously, we can scout it out. You just run out with that D.Va. Wait, what are they doing now? Ooh, okay. So they're still gonna go with DPS without a Mercy. That's interesting, because normally you would not see that for the reason, obviously that you don't have a Mercy for the Pharah, and healing is gonna be harder for Honey Badger to do. That's why they run Sylph on the Lucio, to have more mobility for their Ana.
Now they're going to be coming out of this corridor. They're nearly able to get that first tick is the Whalers, but RNG just going to be coming out here trying to stop that, and that Rhine shield is going to be very crucial in this.
They had identified Yuno being out of position in the cafe, but Yuno's being able to be peeled for, got the bubble, got everything else, the Matrix on it. But now they're doing a lot of damage here. Machu actually almost going down, and this fight is definitely developing here.
For sure, and New England is pushing and collapsing onto this. And it's going to be interesting to see how Orange is going to be going with them. There's a Nano, there's a Dragon as well, and the Barrage, and they have nowhere to go at all.
Boosted gives his life for it, but who cares? I mean, you get 3 or 4 picks there. It doesn't really matter if your Pharah goes down. She's done her job. She's fine. Yeah. Now they got all this ult charge and all this damage and all this progress, all this time to work with. Especially EMP is going to be huge. So they're switching over to their own 3-3 now, 3-2-1 technically, because they still have that Sombra. And still having that Sombra should kind of tell them the Holiday has the EMP. But there's not much they can do about it. I mean, Kala will have that Graviton, which could be very impactful. But there's going to be, one, an EMP to block potential follow-up, and B, maybe a sound barrier and a nano to also help defend against some damage. And crucially, no Diva Bomb for the defenders.
Yeah, the Diva Bomb can be huge. And there's a
nice
huge
EMP.
6-man hack there. The EMP from Holiday gonna be coming in, and Boost is able to get a double here. And Clash Nation's able to pull one back, but it's not gonna be enough.
Ooh, the anti-nade's good though.
Ooh. Possibly, but it doesn't. Oh, Clash Nation!
How did he get 4? How? You see it. You see that self-destruct. Just run away. You were fine. I saw Biz trying to hide behind a cactus. I mean, I know it's rather broad, but it'll hit you. I know he probably didn't have a bubble, but Clash Nation is pulling that one back, and now, I mean, the Grav's a little bit closer from Biz. They have the sound barrier and the shatter to work with, but Kala and Red Sledge are just pulling up.
Oh, there's a huge shatter.
Whoa!
But there's a sound barrier to be able to save them.
Holiday!
He ate the. Oh my god!
And Biz is getting closer to his Grav, so this could very well turn around. They make it there. No, they're gonna lose this fight and come back with the Grav for the next one, but that was close. Their counter shatter was so good, but the sound barrier was there from Lum in time, and then
how about that sequence? First
and Holiday
Class
being
Nation.
staggered out.
How about that sequence? Class Nation with that huge Diva Bomb, and then Holiday eating the Graviton Surge. Oh my god, the shatter.
Yeah. I don't know how Honey Badger dies there, but see, another shatter come out from Red Sledge. Doesn't need anything this time around, but now the Grav is there from Biz. So are they going to use it? That's the question. They are.
RNG, the damage is there for them.
But there's no defensive ultimate.
That anti is so huge.
That shatter's bigger though.
And the Graviton Surge is also huge. And Kayla's behind them, and there's a Transcend. So many ultimates going into this right now, into the cafe. There's a Nano onto the Zarya, onto Kayla. And there's a sound barrier going to be popped on the side of the Whalers, and Korean is able to get 2 there onto Lum and Class Nation. That's going to be huge for them right now. Juno's going to be going down here.
Now.
Yeah, they definitely have that after a huge ultimate fight and farm Machu.
Like 2 minutes being burned down the clock though. I mean, they had about 4 minutes, maybe even more, 4.5 minutes going into that point, and now they've only got 2 left. It's still plenty of time to work with for this stage, but that's a lot of time burned down. The ultimates are relatively even, but like I said, having that Ana for a long time, Honey Badger almost up to another Transcendence, while Kala's almost up to the Grav, so they'll be able to match that timing. But Biz will have the Grav up, and there's no defensive ultimate besides the Sound Barrier on the other side. And Sound Barrier is often not enough to defend against this, especially with Holiday's Bomb as well.
Yeah, both rounds are going to be popped
them
here.
Well.
Who D-Bomb's not able to get anything here. There's the Shatter. The Graviton Surge, Sound Barrier, and Transcendence are all going to be popped here. There's a Graviton Surge on the side of Biz, but here comes the Diva Bomb. It's able to get 2 there. Class Nation Nation, how are you doing this right now? Red Sledge is able to get another one with it. Korean Snack and Biz are going to be falling. Holiday is just going to get staggered out. And, of course, Canadians are going to be coming out as well, bud. But, oh my goodness. It's like a moose hitting a truck.
That's a very long stagger on the Holiday. And another minute down the clock. But my main concern is that they didn't use that grab in the last fight. And they really could have. I think they had the opportunity to do so. And now Juno's got the Transcendence. So they could have had a window where Juno didn't have it. And they didn't use that window for the grab. I think they thought they might need it for the fight after that to cap the point. But now they just don't have it now. And the high ground's completely taken over. They get booped off though. Kala is a very awkward position, but just gets to be able to hop away. And now they're going to get into it. This is where the fight starts.
This could be the final fight right now of round 1.
Red Sledge, delete it. Let's go. That's a nice start.
Just hit the backspace button on him, and here comes a Graviton Surge here. Holiday's able to find 2, though. RNG not looking healthy at all right now. Class Nation's also going to be going down, and Kayla as well. This fight is over. And are they going to be going to contest?
That fight wasn't over as soon as Red Sledge went down. That fight was over as soon as Yuno used the Transcendence to maybe save Red Sledge. And the Transcendence just was too late. So their save didn't come in. They're going to get another contest here, and they have some ultimates to work with. But they really need to start getting some kills here on the defense if they want to make this work, because they are no ultimate at a disadvantage.
The ults are going to be popped here for sure, and Holiday is able to get nothing with that Dio Bomb. Kayla's able to get Korean, and Slife is also down and boosted as well. And this is looking very good for RNG, and it looks like they're going to be able to get this. Overtime ticks down. Yeah, finally able to hold on that second point. But
that was definitely up to Juno, though. Like, Juno switching over to the Ana in that last fight was very huge, because that anti-nade actually made sure they could get the kills. Because the support ultimates were there for the attackers, but they just couldn't get them out. I mean, they cut them out, but they couldn't get value out of them because there was an anti-nade on their Reinhardt, and it was Ryan and Zarya just went down straight away because of the anti-nade. And then you don't really have the damage to follow up, because you have some support ults, but who are you supporting? You're supporting the people that need to do damage for you. If they're dead, then support ults don't really do anything but prolong your suffering. So, unfortunately, they weren't able to get to the second point there, but nice attempt. I think it was a very nice defense. But yeah, I mean, if you're newling in Wales, you know how well you've done with these bunker compositions on defense on Paris, and also on Oasis. So I don't think you're all that worried about a potential second point hold that you need to do. I think everything is focused here on their first point hold, which it looks to be they're going to just go on the Sarissa and the Bastion, just do that same thing that they did. Run Biz probably on the Sombra again, not the Mercy again, because they couldn't, because it's banned. But Sylph on the Ana is a very good alternative. I think it might even be a better alternative, and they might find out because of this. So yeah, maybe they threw them a bone on the side of the Romans Next Gods. Yeah, when it comes to that. So we could very well see a first point hold here, at least a very good hold on point A, which basically means that the street space it's pointless to think about, because we're first going to see if they can break the first point at all. They need more than a tick this time as well.
Yeah, like you pointed out, they need way more than a tick on this one, and Kayla and that Sombra is going to be important, and it looks like they're going to be switching off there. I
mean, they know they need to push in with this. They're going to go with a Nano Blade strategy again, which didn't work out for them last time. They needed something more last time because, you know, they couldn't get the Nano Blade off because the hack from Biz came in. And Biz will always be ahead of in Sombra charge, because there's just more charge to be had for the defensive Sombra here.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to get behind, scout what they have. Not able to hack the Bastion, but
they're gonna try and set up a dive here, but yeah, they just won't, because Winston just gets deleted.
Yeah.
Nice anti-nade though from Juno once again.
The damage is definitely there. It's just that shield, and
wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the damage is there, but the anti-healing was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, because the damage is there for the defense. Like, the whole thing about it is that the defense just has this long sustain of spam damage with that Bastion, and the Orisa also, to be honest. And they need to get through that somehow, but they're not able to do so because they cannot get through the open range that the map offers without taking too much damage. So that's why all these ultimates on the defense are already there. You need to be able to do damage, but their damage is there in bursts. They need to be able to dive on and then do the damage. And while they're diving, they just get pumped full of damage and they just die. And that's exactly what happened to Red Sledge. He couldn't even get a bubble out because he was hacked by Biz. And now Biz has got the EMP, so just waiting for the Nano Blade to counter it probably again.
Yeah, and Kayla is nearing his EMP. That should be interesting. See how they're going to be using that. They're just going to be repositioning, it looks like. And yes, Kayla is hacked here. He does have his
nice
ultimate.
anti-nade once again.
Whew, excellent anti-nade, and the damage yet again is there, and it's definitely there, as this push is definitely there as well. And oh my goodness, it's just Holiday left. He's not singing Holiday Road right now.
No, and it was problematic as well because Biz was almost ready to do the EMP, but just got taken down to a sliver of health, so had to translocate out. And there were more ultimates there online that he just couldn't get out. So now they're going to switch over to this 3-3 once again, or 3-2-1 once again with the Sombra, because they've got the EMP. Kayla's got the EMP, and they've got the Blade on Machu. I don't think the Blade is a reason to stick on Genji unless you can combine it with the EMP. And I hope they're going to be able to do so, because if they're not, then they would have stayed on the Genji for no good reason. Because without that Nano, or without that EMP or a Nano, Genji's Blade is very, very unimpactful in this current meta.
Yes, sir, it is. And Mechi's actually able to get one. That's going to be that Brigitte, and that Ana's going to be popped down. And there's that EMP to able to catch two Holiday and Korean Snack. And there's that Blade that you're talking about. It's not even able to get anyone. It looks like he's actually going to be taken down, and this has been a very interesting fight.
I remember the fight at the exact same place where Class Nation got a 4K. Not exactly happening this time, but they do sort of deny the value of a Dragon Blade. Like I said, wasn't really able to get anything. But now the defense was able to stabilize with one ultimate, which is called EMP. And they will not be able to have anything to do against it. I mean, a Nano almost there is self-destruct, but that's not going to deny any EMP follow-up, because if you're hacked, you cannot use those ultimates. You do see Class Nation hiding, though. Class Nation's not going to get hacked by any EMP. We just throw over the bomb as soon as it happens. That's going to happen right now. There goes the bomb from Class Nation.
Yeah, huge EMP coming in and from Biz, and there's that Earthshatter. It's not able to catch anyone as RNG is just going to be bouncing back, and there's that Lucio in the background just going to be picked off. Don't know why he was back there, but
hey, they got the kill onto Kala, which is pretty big. But you saw exactly what happened. Class Nation throwing out that self-destruct in order to deny follow-up, or at least to maybe get a kill. Wasn't enough this time, but it did throw them a little bit for a loop, so it was still a nice play to be made.
D.Va Bomb's able to get two, and that's going to be Holiday stopping this right now, and Red Sledge is able to get Korean, but he's going to get traded out here. And the Whalers are holding on right now very well, and 1:45 left in the time bank.
And crucially as well, Biz is sort of catching up to Kala in the ult charge department. Was still on the Zarya. It was a switch over to Zarya a little bit later, but it's now of course in the winning team fight. So we got that ult charge. We got that ability to rank up the ult charge a little bit quicker than Kala will. So it's basically even at this point. And they've got the defensive ultimates on the other side. Juno's only just switched over to the Zenyatta, so the defensive ultimates are going to be better and more present for the defenders right now. So looking good for New England Whales, and we've only got a minute 14 left. If this fight goes long, Biz will be able to get that Graviton up, and they'll be able to overtake the Roman's next gods. This could look very well here for the defenders.
For sure. And that D.Va Holiday is going to be going down really low, not going to be taken down fully here. And here comes the D.Va Bomb. It's not able to get anything. Holiday is going to be demacked here, but here comes the Transcendence on the side of Honey Badger. And also the Sound Barrier and the Rally as well. But there's a Rally and the Graviton Surge, and that could be huge. That could be very huge. It's not able to get anything so far. And Lemon Machu and Red Sledge is going to be going down here.
Scrimmage.
Wow.
That is so much damage coming out from both teams. But you saw it happen, right? Sure, they lost one or two on the side of the New England Whalers, But the main thing was that you saw more health bars go down. So one swing from Korean Snack, he died for it, but that one swing took out 2 or 3 members of the attackers. And they've got 10 seconds left. Yes, they've got a Transcendence, but that self-destructive Holiday could just deny a lot of positioning that they want to take if he gets it out on time.
It definitely could, and they're able to get this into overtime. This is the last fight of this map. And Holiday, with that self-destruct, not able to get anything out of it. But Juno's going to be going down here by Honey Badger, and there's a Transcendence from Honey Badger.
Nicely done.
Yeah, and just going to be backing them off of this point right now, and trying to go for the contest business.
Nice
Able to get Red
shatter.
Sledge, and that's going to be Hollywood. I would presume that is.
Going to the New England Whalers.
Yep, and
Nicely
it's 2-2.
done.
And we spoke before to Redbeard about, I asked the question, what do you think could happen if they went down 0-2 in the series? And he said they have the mental toughness and the ability, and they have done it before to come back against these teams, and they definitely have just then.
This is a fight they shouldn't have won, but this 4K is just very nice to look at. Actually gets a 5K, I think, with that extra to it. You can see, hide behind the cactus, gets 4. That's like a fight that they weren't allowed to win, sort of. I mean, they still lost the map in the end, but that fight with that bomb, that's one of those bombs that you really wonder, how did that happen? And when the replays come in, we can go over that 50,000 times, see exactly where everyone was, what the cooldowns were, but not just yet. So we just have to guess why certain heroes died. I know why the Zarya died, because that cactus doesn't protect you from everything. There's like a gap in between, and just doesn't work. Self-destructs were able to be blocked by lampposts, earlier on. So I can understand the thing. But yeah, they're gonna ban the last assault map in the pool, if I'm not mistaken, because the other Anubis was already banned, and they play Paris. So what's gonna be selected here? Do they actually have a choice still, or is it just? Yeah, they do still have a choice. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. So what's left in the pool here is. Find it.
Ooh.
I've got them over here, don't worry.
Quickly.
So we've got Ilios left, we've got Dorado left.
Please be Ilios.
Yeah. Dorado. I can see them why they want to go for Dorado, because Ilios is a very a map that if you're happy playing Orisa compositions like they were in Oasis, Ilios is even worse in that regard. Or at least can be even worse in that regard, especially if you get to well, and that RNG might not be your favorite. You get well first, for instance. So that's why they might want to go to Dorado. But I'm not entirely sure what could be good on Dorado. Like, they could just play a 3-3, but there's so much high ground that you could use into your advantage when you want to play more spam compositions, or more, maybe even Orisa compositions, because there's still a choke that you could use very heavily on the first point, especially. So there's a lot of possibility here, but I feel like the Romans Next Gods just feel like the 3-3 matchup is stronger on Dorado than it is on Ilios, and I would say that's probably a fair assumption to make. So that's likely why they're going there, but we're still going to see if we can see the same saves come out. I feel the Sombra's been much more impactful from the New England Whalers. So I'm expecting them to maybe save the Sombra again, but I'm curious to see what ban comes out, because they could ban the Mercy again, but it really didn't stop them, the New England Whalers. So I don't know if you need to ban the Mercy, if you need to ban something else. If the Sombra's safe, they can't ban it, obviously, but I'm still curious to see what they'll ban. They might ban the Orisa, to be honest. That's a very, very real possibility.
Yeah, it is definitely a possibility, and you know what else is a possibility? And a definition, or a definitive, you can go down there. I don't know if it's a definitive or not. I don't know if I just made that word up or not, but go down there, vote for your MVP if you're on DLive. Go hit us up on Twitch. Go down in the bio, and you know what? Hit up your favorite player of the match so far and of the series, because this is going to be the last map. We are tied 2-2. It's a lot of twos.
I mean, what if we get the 1 in 15 million draw on an escort map? What if? It's possible. What if? I mean, then we have to have the last map, which I think is going to be Ilios, because I don't think we have like another map in that situation, like a different map. So it would have to be Ilios, I suppose. That could be interesting. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can hope. I can dream. I've never seen it happen, the draw on an escort map, but I've heard that it's possible. I've heard recently from people that they've experienced it. So yeah,
Well,
it's,
if this
it's
game-
definitely there.
If this game goes on for about 40 minutes, then I will believe it, because at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over here on the United States and Canada side on the East, New York, Atlanta, Miami time, or Toronto, or wherever you are in the world, and that's where we are, you can go ahead at 9 p.m. EST, go ahead and go over and watch another one of the games I'll be commentating. Will you be commentating, class?
I'll be with you. Don't worry, all the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll be with you as well, viewers. Thanks. If you want to join us, feel free. I mean, we're not going to turn you away. I don't think
we definitely are.
Unless we all ban you on Twitch, where it's really far stretch, we won't. It's really, yeah. So they're going to save D.Va here. I don't know if you wanted to save D.Va. Again, I think saving the Sombra in any situation is good for them. I don't think they needed to save the D.Va because I don't think RNG was going to ban it. But we'll see. I mean, they're likely just want to do something with a dive or a 3-2-1 or something like that. But I'm interested to see what's going to be banned. I feel like RNG might want to ban the Sombra now because they can.
They definitely could, and the RNG will be banning their hero, and attack first will be going to the side of the New England Whalers. Of course, RNG were up 2-0 in this
They
series.
ban Mercy again. Yeah, I'm not convinced by the Mercy ban once again. I don't think it's the one you wanted to go for. I think they would have been much happier banning the Sombra, because now I don't know. I don't think they're really sure what to ban. I think RNG is less strategically strong than New England Whalers when it comes to these decisions. So New England Whalers probably have a very good reason for saving the D.Va over the Sombra. I think saving the Sombra would have been better for them, but saving the D.Va, they still have the Sombra, so it didn't hurt them in the end. But they could have opened them up to that ban, and that ban would have been much more impactful than the D.Va ban. I don't think the D.Va ban would have come out anyways, because you can sort of feel what RNG wants to play, and they almost always want to use that D.Va, especially if you see those bombs from Class Nation come out. So I don't think you needed to save it, but we'll see what their strategy is, because they 100% have an idea of what they want to do here, which probably involves the D.Va. I mean, if they don't play it, I'll be a bit surprised. But the Mercy ban, once again, it feels a bit unnecessary. Yeah,
and you said it before that it's a very very overrated hero, I guess, when it comes to.
It's not overrated, but it's not necessary when you play a Narissa composition. That's the main point I want to make. It's almost when you don't play multi DPS or anything with a Pharah, a Mercy is almost always unnecessary, because of the utilities she brings is that she's mobile enough to fly between different parts of your composition. So if you have a spread out composition with a lot of low health targets that can benefit from damage boosts and that can easily be rezzed when they die, then yes, a Mercy works very well. With a lot of Orisa compositions, you won't be able to res anything because you'll be in the thick of it with everything that's clumped up. Does look like they want to go out with this Roadhog Orisa composition though, against the 3-3, and I don't know if that's going to work out for them. Well, I guess we'll see. Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it looks like this Roadhog is going to be switching. It looks like.
Ooh, they're going to go with the DPS. Honey Badger going down though. That feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
Sylph going low.
Early in.
They're gonna switch over to the straight 3-3. It looks like they are. They're just gonna switch over to the straight 3-3. They don't want to take the different matchup, which is fair. I can see that happening.
Yeah, but here they go with the 3-3 on both sides, and this Brigitte play is gonna be very, very important in this game, and Boosted somehow stays alive.
was going very deep there for a bit.
Yeah.
You see these Lucios just running around, moving everything around, and Sylph just gets booped in a little bit too deep by Lum. Very nice Lucio play from Lum coming out. But yeah, they're just going to regroup, get him back in spawn, go back up, go back out. Try a different route of approach. I don't know. It feels a little bit slow here. I feel like they're not pulling out the same aggression that they did on other maps. Oh, they're gonna go all the way around. They might take that other high ground, go all the way up the stairs over there,
This is smart.
and then just jump up on them. It's a very long rotation though, so they're already a minute and a half down, and then barely a fight has been taking place. So all this time burning down, it better be worth it. They really need to find some value out of this.
Yeah, especially since they have not moved the payload back practically one bit.
Hey, 12.5 meters, not nothing.
Yeah, it's 12.5, I guess. But by the way, that's 12.5 yards roughly. But that's gonna be a nice. It's gonna be a nice stun there onto Lum, and here comes that sound barrier, and there's Earthshadow's not able to catch anything out of it. Korean Snack's able to get mad, but he's gonna get traded out, and Lum's also gonna get killed here, and the ultimate sandwich is gonna be popped. And Class Nation's able to get one there. It's gonna be Slife, and the Whalers, their attack is not looking good so far, and they definitely need this attack to work. They needed to get it. But what do you think is a safe
They traded
range?
out. There were two ultimates coming out from the defense, the two support ultimates, and the graviton and the self-destruct. So they definitely made them use way too many ultimates in the defense here. They should have just lost that fight if you were RNG, because now you're gonna lose this one. That's almost guaranteed. Nice counter shatter, Korean Snack.
That shatter
Taking
is
that one
huge.
out.
And RNG is they
Gonna
are
get
falling
wiped.
right now.
They're gonna get wiped out.
Yeah, unless something absolutely insane happens. But I don't
No.
think
There's
it
no
will.
bomb. There's no bomb. There's no shatter. Nothing can happen. Class Nation's not even in mech right now, so
Yeah,
they're gonna get ahead here. And Honey Badger still has that transcendence because didn't have to use it because there was no graviton anymore from Kala, and with that overwhelming ultimate advantage that they'll actually retain because they're actually gonna get back up to a sound barrier, to a grav. Korean Snack's a little bit ahead in that shatter charge as well, of course. So they should be able to win this, and they could actually get a graviton out before the transcendence is up from Juno if they're a bit quick.
yeah, and here they go onto this fight, and Lum does have that sound barrier, and the sound barrier is on Slife as well. And there's that Earthshadow it's able to
Not
catch
a
two. And here
shatter.
comes the sound barrier on the side of Romans, and sound barrier and graviton surge can be popped from both teams, and the ultimate jambalaya is underway right now. And here comes a Diva Bomb. It's able to catch one Class Nation.
Once again.
He had his barrier up, but I don't think it covered everything. And
Oh, they
Red
do
Sled
get the
is-
counter picks.
Yeah, the Whalers are looking good right now. Very good. Kayla, Juno, and
Amazing
Red
comeback.
Sledge.
They get the right picks here, especially getting that Reinhardt down is always so big, and then following up on the Zenyatta to take away their damage boost. It's amazing. They do take 4 minutes plus some overtime to take that first point, though, so that's not amazing. But once again, look at the ultimate counters. There's nothing on the defense. The closest they are is 64 to the sound barrier, and everything is going so much higher for the attackers. 80% on two support ultimates, over 60 on two of their tank ultimates. They should be looking really good in the coming fights if they rotate them properly.
Yeah, and they're going to be going onto this high ground is RNG. And they're going to be going down here onto this, but there's a Discord on to Kayla right now. That could be huge for him. And yeah, that Reinhardt's actually going to be taking they're taking it, and there's a sound barrier on the side of Slife, and there's a sound barrier on the side of Romans as well. RNG going to be taking this, and there's that Earthshatter and the Diva Bomb, and Boosted's able to get a triple by himself. Korean, and wow, that is a team wipe if I've ever seen it. Mr. Clean, where are you at? Because your services are not needed, as that wipe was clean.
Yeah, they didn't use any ultimates beside the sound barrier on the defense, though, so that's something that they're going to have going for them in the next fight, but they definitely need some more here. I mean, they need to hold on for another minute, so if they make this fight go very long, they could definitely do something. But Honey Badger's Transcendence is probably going to negate most of what they want to do with these ultimates.
Yeah, they will be able to negate it, and 4 ultimates on the side of Roman's next gods, and Boosted does have that rally. And there comes that Graviton Surge. Kayla with it, and there's going to be a pin onto Korean. He's going to be coming very low, and there's The ultimate
Oh, the
jambalaya
shatter
Nation.
bomb.
Another one. Another huge one with 3.15 meters away.
This
From-
time that was just because that was all Red Sledge. Red Sledge set everything up, charged the Reinhardt away, made them spread out to defend the Reinhardt, and then he shattered half the team. And the bomb was just there to follow up on everything. But the play was 100% set up by Red Sledge. They're gonna be able to make it back to the cart, and now once again, so many ultimates invested from the defense. They'll be on ultimate disadvantage for this last fight, so it wasn't even a problem.
Yeah, that is for sure. And here comes
That's
that
already
sound
2 now.
barrier from Slife, and they're very close on this. Red Sledge is getting really low, and if they break him, yep, counter there onto the Earthshatter, but Biz is able to take care of business as he's able to get a triple there. And this is looking very, very much in the favor of the Whalers, and they will be able to take point numero dos.
And I was talking about how the old value really matters and how the strategic minds of the New England Whalers is just very strong right now. They're thinking about how they rotate their ultimates is so much more efficient than the defenders, because they're constantly using 4 or 5 ultimates in fights, whereas New England Whalers are almost never using more than 3. And that's what you want to do. You want to keep rotating that. So again, they'll have 2 up. They'll have the Transcendence and the Rally, and sure, the defenders will have a lot up. But if a lot can be just negated by those 2 support ultimates. There's one already.
Yeah, Biz is able to get one there, and that's going to be on Red Sledge versus the Reinhardt, and that's going to be huge here. And that D.Va just really going to be catapulting their life into their hands, and and that's not going to really be working there. And they're just pushing this payload heavy right now.
Now, once again, 2 ultimates invested, not a fight won, and now they're going to actually might almost be in an ultimate disadvantage here. There'll be a graph from Biz that could be very huge, especially combined with Sound Barrier. Oh, it's Eaton! That's huge from Class Nation!
Wow. He has been absolutely huge so far this series, and he's able to get another huge play there onto that Graviton. And Boost is getting really low here, and the Whalers are getting pushed back right now with 5 seconds left. And here comes the Sound Barrier on the side of the Whalers, and the kills are also going to be coming in their favor right now. The Whalers are going to be stopped here.
Roman's Next Gods finally getting some grip on their ultimate economy, and that was all due to that graph being eaten. Had that graph not been eaten, then the support ultimates would have almost sort of had to be used in that fight. But now they had both the Transcendence and the Sound Barrier after the graph was even used. So one, you put the attacking team on a disadvantage because they think they can follow up on the graph, but then the graph is not there. And 2, you don't have to use their support ultimates, being able to save those. And if the graph had not been eaten, they would have been continuing on that path of woeful ult economy, and they would not have been able to have that hold. So it was almost, I wouldn't say the New England Whalers threw a bone there, saying like, oh sure, you've been struggling with your ult economy, here's one for free. But because Class Nation obviously still did have to eat that. But the defense matrix is relatively easy to dodge now as a Zarya. So the excuse of that getting a grab eaten is almost inexcusable, and it's going to be even more when the PTR patch goes live that's currently on, because that matrix is going to get nerfed again, guys. It's happening. Sorry, D.Va got 2 great skins, but yeah, it comes at a price. And
yeah, 2 great skins equals -1 ability.
They're gonna have to pay that. I mean, it's not minus the ability,
Yeah,
but it's minus about 40% of its utility,
Ooh.
I'd say. So it's minus 30%, 33% in distance, and the visibility of it is also going to be improved. So like hitting it is going to be so much harder. But we get the 3-3 matchup again on the defense. So yeah, let's see how the Whalers are going to be able to do, because they took 4 minutes to get that first point.
Yeah, and they don't have any time left in the time bank to do it with. And Red Sledge is going to be able to get a really nice early pick there onto Busen, and Korean as well going to be going down here, and Honey Badger. And this defense is not looking good right now, as Roman Next Gods are rolling right now.
Yeah, they got
3:25
ran
left.
over there. They will be able to defend for the next point, just another time at this point, maybe even twice if they play their cards right. But they're not even that far behind an ultimate charge. I think the main thing they need to be aware of is the Earth Shatter there from Red Sledge, and Red Sledge is not looking to do any flanking shenanigans here. But Lum is doing a lot of boops here, so they need to watch out for that, I suppose.
Yeah, that definitely can turn your positioning right around into the worst of it, but it's gonna be contested here right now, and that hammer needs to do some work right now, and Slife is gonna be popping that sound barrier. And there's a self-destruct rally and Earthshatter. The Earthshatter is able to get two boosted, and Boost is gonna be going down from it. And Kayla is just sticking on to this point. And there's the Earthshatter. They're able to catch two and not able to follow up with anything from it. And Holiday is able to get two there. Wasn't with the Diva Bombs today. At least the series so far in Honey Badger.
So they're choosing to set up the Diva Bomb more with the Earthshatter or just mid-fight rather than use it with the Graviton, which is the more preferred method for most teams. Class Nation now finally getting a taste of the stagger. Usually it's been Holiday today, but Class Nation also be able to follow up. Might actually get the mech back here. I think he's able to get the mech back, and then you can fly around this cliff back to your attacker spawn. A lot of people don't know about that, but there's been a little bit of a joke that you can make that with Soldier. You can make it with quite a few heroes. You can make that jump, but it's one you have to really practice hard. Not so much with Diva because you can just fly, but yeah, they're gonna wish they had that stagger out. I don't think it mattered much time-wise, but it just helps. Oh, Honey Badger going down early. That's a big pick. So they're not going to be able to have that Transcendence, which is almost up. And now the Graviton comes in from Kala. That will get free follow-up from everyone.
Yeah, the Graviton Surge is there, and Red Sledge is also there with it with his Sledgehammer. He's able to get free. And Holiday is going to be demeched here and taken out, and that's going to be the first point going in their way here.
Yeah. And once again, I mean, it's one of those picks. This is sort of had the same effect that eating the Graviton had in the last fight of their defense, where they could have a free ultimate or at least save ultimates in order to just get a fight win, because they didn't need to use, they couldn't use the support ultimate, so the Graviton was free from Kala. But there they go. Yeah, they're gonna be able to defend against it, use the Transcendence offensively, and boom, there goes Juno.
Holiday able to get one there onto Juno, and Loma goes down, and they're just pushing straight into this, and RNG is just going to be backing up here, and that was a very nice defensive hold there. 3 minutes left for them to capture the second point, and they are very much here.
Yeah, they're going past them, so now the Graviton is used behind them, behind the attackers. Zarya's are trading out. Of course, the attacker spawn is much closer now. Now we see both sound bears. They're just gonna fight at a place that's gonna waste a lot of time for the attackers, regardless of the outcome of this fight. And that's very nice to see.
It is very, and this is so far the trades are gonna be coming back in here, and
well, they're trying to move the fight to the payload. They're trying to move it so they can actually push. But
they're trying to
meanwhile, they're still having to take them out. Oh, they finally get there. But that took a long time. Now they have 2 minutes 15 left. I would say way too long.
Seconds.
I would say way too long. But I'd say that it was a very, again, it's these cerebral plays that are coming out from the New England Whalers that I really like. Kala is now going on a very long flank. Once they take that high ground, so they can't take it on the defensive side, they'll be able to. I mean, they have plenty of they have easier routes up that high ground than the attackers do. And Kala and Lum are up there, but they just get booped off straight away. Once again, how? How does this keep happening?
Able to get one there. I don't know. They're able to get 4 in this fight so far, and they do have. I mean, it wouldn't. Yeah, they definitely don't have the ult economy with them, but they definitely have momentum and the snowball effect with them right now.
They might just make this uncontested. Other spawn is very close. I think they'll be able to get another defense up. But I feel really that the New England Whalers very passive there. They didn't just go for the fight. They're here now to waste time. That's their main goal because they know where they.
There's a huge shatter though.
That's huge. No graph this possibility, but a huge counter shatter as well.
Boost is able to get a Lum there, and Boost is going to be traded out though from it, and RNG are looking very good in this fight so far, but there's that Transcendence from Honey Badger, and Juno's
Oh, the sound
is
barrier.
going down, and
Another shatter from Red Sledge, but the Graviton is there from Biz. There's no defensive ultimates, so they'll be able to follow up on this one. Oh, Class Nation!
oh, is able to go,
How? Once again! They can't keep getting away with it, but the defenders are getting pushed back a little bit. They could, no! They
going
had
down the
that!
sidelines. Oh, that hurts. That
How? And
hurts.
again, and it's so much. Lum is doing so much with all these boops. I feel really that they're using their boops very well on RNG. Like, that's the main thing. I mean, we keep screaming how, and obviously there is an answer to the question. There's just a lot of good plays coming out here from Lum and from Class Nation and from Red Sledge, just to boop people and put people in the position where they can actually get destroyed by that self-destruct. But it still feels like they shouldn't be getting away with it. The Graviton advantage is on the defense, though. And a nice shatter! That's huge for both sides, actually. But Match
both.
is the one that gets picked up.
And this could definitely be it right now. Booster Girl's able to get 2 there. That's going to be for them. And Biz is able to follow it up to Juno. But how about that anti-shatter, or not the anti-shatter, but the comeback with it. And able to turn that around.
Guys, we've seen it happen constantly. I think Korean Snack has consistently been able to counter shatter Red Sledge's shatters, because it feels like Korean Snack sometimes lets his team or a part of his team get shattered in order to get the counter shatter off. Because the counter shatter will always have more value, because your team, while they're on the ground, they'll be back up sooner than the other team. So be able to flood over them. Lum is once again going on this flank boop. We'll be able to get something forward, but we'll be able to get a kill out of it. Class Nation throws another bomb into the air.
Not able to get
no
anything
kills
out of it
this time around.
Finally. But
so many cooldowns up, I think, but Sylph goes down.
both rallies are going to be popped here, as well as a Transcendence on the side of Juno. 30 seconds left. Matchu's able to get 1 shot of this. We're going to be able to get 3 there, but Pin is going to be going on to Class Nation. Honey Badger's able to get a Lum out of it. 20 seconds left, and here comes a Diva Bomb. Biz is able to get Class, and Diva Bomb's not able to get anything.
Target. The wrong pin target from Korean tries to pin the Transcending Zenyatta, and he won't die. Okay, Juno is behind him. Juno will be able to touch if they don't spot him out, but they've seen him. They've seen him. Sylph knows.
This is not
and now
good
Juno's
for
gonna
him.
go down. They're not going to even touch. Yeah, Lum makes it, but it's gonna be close. The Tracer comes out. The Doomfist comes out. Will they
Are they
make
going to be able to
it?
get on it? They're barely able to get on it to contest for overtime.
Will it be enough though?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't look like it.
New England Whalers, the reverse sweep.
England Whalers are comeback kings right now, down 0-2 in the series. It is able to come back somehow, some way, and win it 3-2 in favor of the New England Whalers. And what a game. Spam GG's in the chat if you will. And what a game. And remember, you can go ahead and vote for your MVP if you are there, and it's still going on even though
Still
this match
possible.
is over. Yeah, still very possible.
I mean, we're 3 minutes ahead of you, so we'll still be talking and then waiting for you to be done with voting. But we'll be fine. But Aries, I gotta be honest. I feel like you kind of cursed the New England Whalers, cause like as in positively cursed them, because 1, you asked them about what happens if you're 2-0 down, and 2, you actually said you don't prefer like the New England as a region, so that inadvertently just makes them win. That's how that works. But
wow.
I'm not gonna blame you. I'm not gonna blame you necessarily, because they played very well. Like I said, the strategic mind, or the strategic approach from the New England Whalers really impressed me. They really did a lot of smart things, really good things. And yeah, I mean, again, very nicely done. And the Romans Next Gods, again, like I feel they didn't fully abuse or make use of the hero pick and ban system, and sometimes didn't necessarily have the right approach to certain fights. And if there's one thing I can tell them work on it, is 100% that ult economy, right? That's the one thing. But enough about RNG, because we know how random things can go. But there's also things we don't know what goes on in comps, for instance. That's why we have players. The players come into chat, talk to us. And who we have here right now is Honey Badger from the New England Whalers. So Honey Badger, welcome in the chat. How are you feeling after that one?
That was intense. Like, we started off like kind of shaky, but the reverse sweep feels good. Feels really good.
Yeah. I was saying it during as well because it really felt like you had a grasp on what you needed to do, but you needed a little bit of time to either warm up or figure things out a little bit more. And then after like that Oasis map came out, I was like, yeah, see, they're banning the Diva. They know what they're doing here. They're gonna run something that Diva is very helpful against, and it was true, obviously. And then after that, saying the Sombra. Do you really feel that the hero pick and ban definitely helped you out in this match a lot, or not so much?
It was strange. Like we weren't actually expecting it. We didn't realize that it was going to be hero ban and pick. I feel like we got a little bit of a mind game going on in them, especially on Oasis. Like we threw the Diva ban in, and then our Diva was like, "I'm gonna pick Torb." We're like, "All right, go for it." And he clutched that super hard in that one fight.
Yeah, that was a very nice tour play. And me being from being from Europe, I'm very aware of tour play right now. It's 100% a thing that happens in the highest level. So go check that out if you're interested in doing that more. But yeah, I mean, do you feel because you made use of the hero bans very well, of course, but do you feel like you had the strategic advantage throughout that entire match?
Probably. It felt like that, honestly.
Yeah. What do you because we've obviously talked about it, which you haven't heard. So what do you feel showed that you had the strategic advantage? Maybe outside of the hero bans, or like what came into that?
I mean, Oasis, honestly. I think when we just manhandled them on Oasis from the hero ban, and then just random comps, after that we kind of got in their head, I think, a little bit, and we were able to barely pull it out.
Possibly. I mean, what I saw happen a lot. I don't know if you noticed. Like that's why I'm asking. So I don't know if you noticed that as well on your side, because you're keeping track of ultimate, etc. And I often felt that their ultimate usage was a little bit lackluster, a little bit less disciplined than yours. And I don't know if that's something you noticed, for instance, when you're in that game.
I think at the beginning they had much better ult economy than we did, so that's why we were trying to do DPS stuff as much as possible. But towards the end of it, we really picked up on it, and it did feel like they were lacking super hard, like especially on Dorado. Towards the end of it, it felt good.
Yeah, if you're gonna look back over the VOD, which undoubtedly you'll probably do, I think you'll find that that's an accurate feeling that you had there. So it's good that you at least noticed that a little bit. Yeah, you weren't really aware of the hero pick and ban system coming into this. Obviously you just signed up to tournaments. You don't always know exactly what's going to happen. Do you feel like you're going to prepare a little bit more for that system in the coming weeks or in the coming days?
100%. Like now we're aware of it. We're going to utilize it as much as we possibly can. We're going to try and figure out exactly what comps we want to play. We're going to try and figure out what the enemy is going to play and adjust accordingly. So
it's good to hear. Do you have like one or two, or maybe even everyone that's really into those type of meta strategies, or do you have like either your coach always does that, or is it like more of a team discussion?
It's honestly mostly just team discussion. We're kind of just sit down generally after scrims a lot of the time, because that's when everyone's together, and we just kind of talk about stuff, figure out what we want to do, what worked well, what didn't work well, what we want to do in the future, that kind of thing.
Okay, that is good to hear. Well, obviously, you're progressing through the upper bracket. Doesn't mean you're out if you lose a game, but still. And round 2, you're gonna have to play against a team that has gotten a bye. Like they've gotten the free pass into round 2. Yeah, I mean, have you ever heard of the team Redacted? And if yes, like, do you have anything prepared for it, or are you you're obviously gonna prepare for them? But they're called Redacted, so I'm not like keeping it a secret. But yeah.
Well, they have our old manager, so it's going to be interesting for sure.
Okay. A little bit of rivalry going on there. Yeah, that's always nice to hear. Well, I think we might actually get the MVP vote in soon, because it's been a while. Yeah, do you have any suggestions yourself? Maybe if people can still get a last minute vote in. I don't think they will, but
Ooh, I honestly don't know.
You're allowed to pick someone from the other team as well. Like, who give you real trouble? That's something you can do.
Ooh, I mean, when their Zen fragged me, I felt kind of scared. Their Zen was pretty good. Our Reinhardt and our Diva were both really nice as well. Felt pretty strong there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you called out the Zenyatta, the other team. It was a right call because Juno, the Zenyatta on the other team, did actually get the MVP vote. So,
There we go.
that
Yeah.
congratulations to Juno there. Very nicely done. Well, before we let you go, obviously we always love it when you come in to talk here. So thanks for that in advance. But we always like to give you the opportunity to do a few shout outs. Shout out Jeff Kaplan if you want to. Shout out your mom if you want to. You can shout out anything, really. I mean, even the lovely taste of waffles in the morning. I mean, it's your choice. So go ahead, floor is yours.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have any words to say.
Mother's always the great choice.
I can attest to that. It's really. I mean, we had a Mother's Day cast at some point, game at some point, and then someone didn't shout out to their mom. Oh. I was like, aren't you forgetting someone? So yeah, it's you don't necessarily have to do it today, but I'm just saying you got to remember that in your head always. Like, my mother was there for me when I was growing up, or your father, or it depends. People have different family situations, but
hey, I mean, I can shout out to my dad who screamed back at me when we were all cheering at the very end of that game.
Nice. I mean, hey, that's it's always nice when your parents get involved one way or another. So yeah. I mean, again, congratulations on the victory. Definitely pass it on to the rest of your team as well. I think we're gonna call it for the engineers again. Thanks for coming in, and maybe we'll talk to you in the future again because your next game is not that far away.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
See you, Honey Badger.
Thank you. See you.
All right. Well, with the end of that will be the end of production, at least for right now, and at least for 10 minutes. If
we'll be
possibly
back soon.
More, maybe.
No, 10, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yes, we will. So I will be here, and I'll just go ahead and get a quick thing going here. I would you're basically shouting out each other. Basically, Refuse, thank you for being here. We'd like to call him the Silent Ninja because he does not say anything, and he lives up here in Toronto with me. Doesn't live with me, of course, but he's over there. Anyways, you get what I mean.
Doesn't? What?
Yeah, no, what? No. Anyways, he brings us all together. He's the only reason why we are here, unless someone else had the idea, and then we'd probably be casting for them. But anyways, we'd love to be here with the Overwatch Watchers Brawl number 6 over here, of course, in the month of June. I about said May, but we are here, and it's going to be awesome to watch, especially with the next game going to be coming up and with the rest of the games coming up in this Watchers Brawl. I've been Aries. You can catch me on Instagram, Aries, _Thompson. Go ahead and follow all of that. Definitely get some CSGO stuff, some behind the scenes of what my life is like. But Manaclass, do you have anything to shout out?
I mean, always my Twitter, Manaclass OW. I don't really stream that much. I actually streamed a few days ago, did some Overwatch parkour. If you want to see me struggle, that's definitely the place to be. Other than that, yeah, follow me on Twitter. Everything I do, which is mostly on other channels, I'll usually tweet out there or I get retweeted or something like that. So if you want to see anything more of me, I'm doing some very interesting projects lately. So yeah, follow me there. And if not, no, that's fine too. Because the only thing you really need to follow is the Watchers Brawl. I mean, the Watchers OW on Twitter, Twitch, and on DLive. That's where you need to be. That's where all the action is. That's where we often be. That's where these lovely teams are playing. And like we said, we'll be back very soon. Just 7 or 8 minutes, and we'll be back with Revolution versus Sakura Gaming. So see you on the other side, guys.
Adios.